Bricks are grown, makes this place much colder.
I'm a big fan of concept albums or concept movies. Like Tarantino, I love how everything is just genre film, and he keeps that consistency in every film. And so every time I'm about to put together the songs for an album, I think, okay, this has to have some type of a story. It has to have like a movie play out. And so some songs are really old songs. On the Raw Youth album, when I wrote when I was 17, but for some reason I decided to hold on to them and not use them. So finally, when I presented all the songs to Omar, he helped me pick out the strongest ones, and I was like, okay, yeah, but that one may be strong, but it doesn't go into this part in this album. So he'd be like, okay, explain. So instead of explaining on a musical level, which I have no talent for, I explained to him on a story level. Okay, well, this song represents, you know, the beginning of like a first scene, for example, first take, you know, the close-up of the hands of the mother fidgeting and doubting herself. But what's going to happen in the middle? Oh, she comes to realize that she's capable of doing more than just being surrounded by her own neurosis. And at the end, there's, I guess, for my half, which features John Frusciante, it's the closure. You find closure within yourself, even with death or life. And there's something else out there. I'm always surprised by what the end result is, because sometimes you just get so lost in the process of being in the studio and you're just losing yourself sometimes within your own feelings of trying to, how in the world am I going to put what I'm feeling into a song? And sometimes it just can come off so infantile on a uke, like, oh, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But it's good too when you involve people to help push that vision that you have to make it something that belongs not just to me, but to everyone. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you, like, same thing in the process, you lose perspective after a while, and all the little things you've spent time putting into it and, you know, little tweaks there don't really set in until you kind of step away from it. You come back and, you know, when we heard, you know, the record playing over at the Amoeba thing,
you were like, whoa.
I was like, oh, like, I don't remember any of it. I mean, not remember, but it sounded fresh again.
Take a step back, take one step back, take a step back and shave that pride off.
Can you talk a little bit about recording with John Frusciante?
That was very organic. We didn't even plan for it, because we have the tendency when we're not making music, we like just like everyone, to hang out and watch movies, sit on the Persian rug or the rug with your legs crossed, kind of like hippies, and do a little meditating and look at Amy Schumer and be like, oh, Amy, I love you. So in the process, you know, we like to show each other music, and especially music from back in the 50s. So he'd play these records consistently. In those sessions, I played him the song, which was originally a cappella, and so he was listening. He was like, "Oh, this is really cool," and he just started playing with the Moog, just playing around, and I said, "That's a great idea. You should record that," and he was open to it. And so over the weeks, he sent us files with the guitar and the Moog, and in the track, the vocals are a little bit buried, and the Moog is right up front. And he said that that's how they used to mix in the 60s. So there was a purpose for the interesting mono type sound to the song.
Given the fluidity of the definition of punk, is there a way to make a pop song punk with a punk spirit?
Oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt. It's been done over and over again throughout all of history to keep the punk essence in a pop song. Like, look at Blondie, for example. They're a great example, no doubt. Even the Spice Girls, I find what they represented to be punk as hell, because they had that conviction of girl power. I'll give you what I want, what you really want. So give me what you want, what you really want. I want to, even if they, I don't know, who knows if they wrote their songs or not, but they believed in what they were singing. Or Fela Kuti, you know, his music's doesn't sound pop at all, but it's not punk per se in the mainstream sense, but the words that he's singing, you know, tears of sorrow, blood and joy, like everything that he's saying, he believes it, he lives it. Without the audience, I think there basically isn't a live performance, except there's exceptions, that Pink Floyd in the middle of nothing, and they're just playing to no one, Pompeii, live on Pompeii. Okay, that's the exception that proves the rule. But if the audience isn't into it, or they are, it definitely affects. It's like a relationship. if you feel that your lover is kind of grumpy or holding something in, you can tell by their body language, and then automatically it affects yours. You start getting back pain, your feet start aching more, you get headaches, and you're like, what the hell is going on? I can't read minds. When I see people that are really into it, you know, I tend to feed off their energy, and, you know, it's kind of stealing their energy and reinterpreting it. And yeah, just sometimes people would be on their phone, and that's a horrible thing to do to anyone. You know, let alone being in a conversation or at a show. But it's so rude when just someone is on their phone and they're like, "Oh, yeah, what was that? Sorry." It's like you just want to punch them in the face, and it's been done before. I once got off stage once, and I picked up that guy on my back and slammed him on the floor.
In Cleveland.
In Cleveland, it screwed my neck up, but that's how mad it gets me. I can't control it. Yeah.
Opening supports.
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
Some kids are sitting on the barrier just like. But sometimes it's also a challenge. You know?
Yeah, no,
you
definitely.
And you kind of
bumps you, right?
You get a little aggro.
You want
like,
to get
I want
more.
to try a little harder.
Music's just an excuse to connect to people, to travel the world and see different cultures, and sometimes, for example, in Japan, they'd be very quiet and just standing there, and you think, oh, do they hate us or not? No, it's just a cultural thing. They're very attentive to the details of what the band is doing, and once the band finishes a song, then they politely clap. It's very, I don't know, it's interesting. Or in Mexico, where it can be, if they don't like you, they'll literally, I'm not exaggerating, it's been known, people excrement in their hands and throw it at the playing band. Yes. It's not so frequent, but it has happened. It has happened. Frequently, they just throw pennies at you. You're like, oh, cheap whore, just come on. Here, take it up, the cooch. I don't know what that word even means. Is that a word? Okay. Is that a racist word?
No.
Oh, okay, no?
I think you got it right.
Okay, all right, good, okay, yeah. Take it up the, yeah.
Share